Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so we're here with Coach Caren Fern all the way from Toronto, Canada. We're going to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tirolina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So today we are going to be talking with Coach Caren about how to get our money together, how to get our minds together to wrap it around our business finances and our personal finances. So guys, get a pencil because you're going to need it. Hi, Gabby. How you doing? It's good to see you in here today.
Hi, morning, Gabby.
We love you, girl. So, Coach, what's our topic today?
Today we're talking about planning towards bigger income. Now, in August, we talk a lot about financial abundance, atmosphere, and all the works. And last week, I started you guys off with working on doing the work that excites you. All right. And that was like a prelude because when you're there, it's easily for us to talk now about bringing in all that money. So this week, we're talking about planning towards a bigger income. It is possible. It can come to life once you do the stuff we're going to talk a little bit about today and you keep at it. I think that's the key for everything that I talk about or hint about or whatever. It's all about the continuum. It's all about the consistency and all about the doing. You can't only think about it in your head, but you actually have to do it. Do it badly if you have to until you get there. Just keep doing it. Right? So we're gonna look at three areas for that statement, and I'm going to really propose in questions, and we're going to go into those questions. Question number one: what is the biggest number you can imagine earning, and why? And I'm going to pause. Hi, everybody, and if you're catching us on the replay, Coach Caren here, Profits in Daily. That's what we talk about. That's what we do. That's what we work towards. Even if it's not coming in daily yet, that's the goal. That's the plan. All right. Okay. Yeah, what's the biggest number? Because anytime you find you call out a number and you're okay with it, it's not big enough. Or if it's there and that's all you can comfortably say, multiply by 4, let it scare the dickens out of you. Let it do that because the scaring you will push you towards, you will start seeing the possibility of what can happen. Right. And number two, we're going to talk about how did you come up with that number? Like where you pull that number from, right? You need some bearings. And if you don't know, if you sit back and relax, you'll notice that you did pull it from somewhere. It doesn't really come from thin air. It comes from our experiences. It's come from a lot of things that has happened. And then number three is what would it take to have this become your reality? So if it's not in a moment, and even if your number is big in the moment, you can still move that number, right? Because it might only feel big to you. It might feel like the biggest thing you've ever done. Okay. But this is all possible. I remember the first time me thinking and reading about making $1,000 a month. I used to listen to this. Those days was Pat Flynn. I listened to a lot of his recordings. I attend a lot of his mastermind, just different things that he used to have. He wasn't a millionaire yet, but he was becoming. So I was listening to him grow himself into the process of it amongst the public so that he could be accountable to himself while he grew, to become a millionaire and beyond. And in the meantime, millionaire and just different ones where people were not there yet, but projecting towards it. And I'd call myself.
Delia's got a number up here for you.
Delia. My brain can't think further than 50,000.
Okay.
Multiply that by 4, girl. I know. We got a number. Where you pull your 50 from? Let's know. Tell us how you pull that number. All right. So number one was, and these questions that I just stated, even if you don't answer them here, I want you to go away and just think about these questions because it really is going to have things percolating and give you this ground place to run, to build this foundation and then run off from and keep going, right? I'm a
Okay.
numbers girl, so I'm geeky in that thing. So when I think about $1,000 an hour, I went into 8 hours a day. That's 8,000 a day. Multiply that by 5, or did I want to work 3 days a week? Now start giving me options. Do I want to work 6 days a week or 5 days a week? And then I calculate that. Then I calculate the yearly. So I go into all these different number variations, and it's just
Mhm.
because all you're doing is having fun with it, right? And it gets your juices flowing, and then you start looking after the other foundational things. So whatever that number is, yes. So I'm going to read back the questions because I really want you to take them away and go and play with it. This is playtime, okay? Play with it. Play with it.
Okay.
Play with planning towards your bigger income. The minute you start making money, let me stop and say this, a game, and you start understanding you can play this game really well, you will keep winning. Money, if you look at it as a game, it stopped being this controlling aspect of your life. It stopped being this whatever it is. When a friend or anybody says to me, Karen, it's the money situation. If I had money, I would have. I said, stop, hold that thought. I don't want to hear that. Don't finish that sentence. It's not true. Let's confirm it's not true. Yes, let's say it together. It's not true. It's
It's
nothing
not
to do
true.
with the money. It's not true. And I cut them off and I will not have this conversation. You need to go away, come back. That's okay. I'll hang up the phone, call you back. It's not true. It's not the money. It's what's happening surrounding the money. It's what's going on in the environment. Let's clarify, let's clear that up, and let's get right back to what you will do and what you're going to do and what you're going to start off doing once you get off this call. So there's no if I had the money.
Okay. I'm sharing this out too. Oh, guys, that's the other thing. If you get a chance, please share because we want all our friends to come the same way mentally about their money.
Yes,
We have
we
somebody
do.
to talk to.
We certainly do. We want them to know that working towards that it's okay, and we want them to get into the money game. And
Delia says it would be enough to be okay in life.
right.
Yeah, but it would be just enough, Julia. And we want you to have overflow.
Yes. We love overflow because overflow allows us to expand, and expansions mean we can expand deep and wide and every which way we want to in all ways because look how many lives we get to touch when we do expansion. That's what we're not
Exactly.
doing.
The
But
poor can't help the poor. And
yes,
we got
yes, we
just
really want to.
enough. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
We want to have enough to be a blessing to
Mhm.
ourselves and to others.
Right, sure. All right. So, whatever that number is for you, I want you to imagine it, that you can imagine and just why. Ask yourself the question why. Consistently ask yourself the question why. Later today, I probably put a link in this chicks later today for anyone who's looking to join. I'm going to do a plug right here now for me. I've got 4 memberships level that people can join, and the first one is the free membership. And anybody can join that one. It's so simple. You come in and you really, in that membership, you'll be discovering yourself and understanding things about you. And those things will help you to make really wonderful decisions for yourself and your business. Because I feel in all aspect, one of the biggest reasons people take courses or programs and not finish it, finish it, but not do anything for themselves after they finish the course. While they're in the course, they're pumped. They're talking about all the other students. They're excited. They're excited for what the host have done and all that wonderful thing, but they themselves did nothing. And the course is finished 8 weeks later. Mine is 8 weeks of coming up, 8 weeks later, 10 weeks later, a year later, they do nothing. And that's because they haven't discovered who they are and what they really and truly want to be. And so I think it would be a disservice to everybody if I just did memberships without giving people a chance to discover themselves. And I decided that that's going to be free because it's really, you need time to do it. And you can do it in 3 weeks, you can do it in 3 months, and some people it's going to need a whole year, and that's okay. They're just going to allow you to do such. All right, moving along. Once you know your why is because you've discovered some things about yourself. Number 2 was how did you come up with that number? And is a number, did you come up with a number out of fear, or did you come up with a number because you think it sounds good, it looks good on paper, it's going maybe might surely cover some things? No, it once you understand all that things of why you come up with a number, then you need to go back into concrete. It's like if I say to my friend and I, and we talk a lot about money, and we said I want to make $1 million this year. Our job is to sit down with that number for a bit, and then we need to sit down and figure out why we need $1 million. And then once we figure out why we need $1 million, we also need to figure out what we're going to do with $1 million and how we're going to make this journey money go where it needs to go. So that package is finished. Next step, we need to figure out how we're going to walk backwards to make that $1 million. How are we going to make the first whatever number that is contributing towards that? If we sit down and we discuss that and we talk about a million gross, then we need to understand that we're not going to end up in $1 million. We might end up with $250,000, depending on what it is we have to do and all the things that's happening. If our goal was a million net, then we need to make more than $1 million again because of taxes, because of expenses, because of all these other things. So when you get the number, you need to know why. And that's why it's such a game, because when you're playing this really great game, you're not feeling the pressure as you'll put on yourself otherwise. That's why I like to look at it that way. And I've been saying this, I've been building it slowly but surely. Or one day I'm gonna have the money game. I swear. Set up where people are gonna really have fun just playing together and just keep winning. All right. That's one of my big goals. One of my big goals. And it's just good. It just keeps you focusing and playing. And when life is rough, you just go back to that game and just play it. Just understand. It also helps you if you are looking at the stock market, if you are even a real estate investor. Any one of the things that makes you money, you start understanding and you start playing it as that game. It is so important because imagine you're a real estate investor and you bought a couple of properties, but in the area it started decreasing and you're freaking out. While you're freaking out about those properties, you can't see the other great deals that's coming your way. But if you play in the game, understanding where you hang, where your level is, where your spiritual, mental, and physical, yes, all these levels is happening, you can tap into them individually and pull you and calm you down and center you and say, okay, so the properties are coming down. And this is just a for example. This area is not doing as well as I thought. Should I sell right now? Do I understand it? If I sell, I'm going to lose X, Y, and Z, but I'll gain X, Y, and Z because I want to clear up this understanding right here so I can allow. Because we close off. Let me be very clear. It's not because the opportunity don't come. We close it off. We shut the door and we don't allow the new to come in because we so focused on the old or what's happening at present. I know that's a mouthful, but it's
I get it. You're saying we're distracted by what's going on in our daily life or what our past experience has been, and we allow that to make us okay with shutting the door to opportunity. Is that basically what we're saying here?
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing, I think when I listen to Dahlia said that would be enough, it's okay. I think a lot of times we think that making a profit is being greedy. We've been taught so much that we're supposed to give everything away. We can't be too wealthy because then we'll get prideful. You know, there's all these things from our money story.
Yes.
And it even starts with kindergarten. Do you have enough for everybody in the class? Really? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you. That takes me back to my ceramic teacher, and crafting lady. People thought she was crazy in here. I'm scared. She was those ladies who used to wear the big, big afro and her shirt would be nice and loose, like a dashiki style. And she didn't care what was going up, down, and down. And she would always have us with extra clay. I remember we saying to her, Miss, why do we need so much clay if we got so much clay in the storeroom, why are we going to get more clay? Like, don't we have enough clay? She goes, you guys are working on the assumption that that's all we need. And then off we go on that day and get more clay to pile up. And she had a system because the clay is raw clay. Raw clay smell really bad. So it needs to come, it needs to go in the yard, it needs to preserve, it needs to come and get with the environment, and it needs to do whatever it needs to do. Then we go and sort through, get out the bricks and all sort of stuff and develop it into, here in North America, you just see people buy the big stock and it come and they slice it and what have you. But from where I'm from, and if you're working in clay, you actually start with a raw material where all the debris and all the crap is in there. And then we get to the stage where people just go and buy it here and have it. So we're storing that up. And I'll tell you what, in a couple of years after taking her classes, I remember in there one Thursday and we were out of clay. We couldn't go dig clay. We couldn't go find clay. Guess where we had the clay? Right there waiting on us to use. Even other schools were able to come in and be able to take part in the clay that she has never stopped doing. Now let's turn that over to money. When you see a rich person, you always say, I hear people say it all the time, but you have enough. Why are you trying to get more? You're greedy, leave some for us. That's because you're thinking that whatever they have was part of your potion. Whatever they have is theirs. It has nothing to do with you. That's their potion. Let me make that very clear. My money is my money, it's not your money. Okay, so don't you dare think that a person who have a lot of money should be giving you their money. Your job is to make your own money. There's enough money for everybody.
I think that's the thing too. There is enough money for everybody. There's enough business for everybody, and there's enough money for you to be wealthy. Okay, it's okay. And if you are a Christian, it says, you know what, that you ask because he will grant it to you, that the Father might be glorified. So not asking is really keeping God from being glorified. And I know that sounds crazy to us because we've been taught just the opposite. But that's
because we've been chipping away on those things that were taught to us, and we never asked for explanation and all the other things that I'm not going to say. But so
yeah, we don't want to go over there.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's bring it back over here.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it's okay.
Yes.
To make a profit in your business.
Yes.
And you don't have to tell the world about it either.
No, no.
Oh my God.
You could be grounded as ever. When I had my first kid, I was so sick with all my kids. And my husband, we weren't married at the time, but he'd hired this guy that anytime I need to go to the doctor or whatever, he would just come over, and it was like a private drive. He'd come pick me up, carry me anywhere I needed to go. And I remember a time asking him, why was he doing what he was doing? Because if you see the house he lives in, Terry, he doesn't need to be a taxi driver. The big gates, what have you. But he didn't need to be a taxi driver. And I would ask him, he says, it keeps him grounded, something I'm going to talk about later this month.
Okay.
It keep him personable, it keep him grounded, which means he get to talk to everybody, he get to be in there. And as I get older, I didn't know I was young, I was only 20 at the time, realized that he was doing his ministry that way.
Mm-hmm.
That was how he did his. Because you get in that car, it is spotless, it is clean to the tilt. You feel luxurious in his car. And he would just talk to you about whatever you feel. You get in the car and you really go into calm mood. You're not, whatever you're feeling just comes right down, and then we would just have conversation. I would tell him, I said, I don't know if we're going to meet without me throwing up in your car. He says, Karen, that's okay. If it's coming, just let me know. I'll pull over. Just was just calm. And I never realized it until I got older that that's the man doing his ministry. So sometimes we don't even realize how people are being used. Don't assume because somebody got money, they're still not serving and not doing what they're supposed to do. They're just not hollering at the top of the hill that that's what they're doing.
Okay.
And he used to just dress decent and clean, nothing fancy. He was just a kind of rich guy who just dresses regular shirt and pants, well ironed.
But he knew his why.
Yes. Okay. All right. And so when you understand, how you come up with a number, what's going to happen, it's going to keep you on the doing. It's going to keep you on the moving forward. And this year really either help people or get people to go backwards. It's one or the two. And or you split in the middle and you're on indecision, you don't know what to do. But truly, it's to examine your heart, mind, soul, and spirit. And if you were confused, refresh you and allow you to see where you should have been and where you want to go next. And just dust yourself off from whatever was and just get yourself in the mind frame of what's going to be and then work in that.
And give yourself some grace, guys.
Yes, give yourself permission.
Because it just seems like, I don't know about you, but in California, now we've got the fires. We got the situation with the masks. We've got racial unrest. I mean, all of these things. And then we got an election coming. There is a lot going on in your mind and in your world.
Yes.
Give yourself some grace.
Give yourself some grace. Yes, give yourself.
Take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Not day because it's smoky in Sacramento, but
Yeah.
take a deep breath if
Come
you're
inside
inside.
and give yourself the breathing. Don't do it outside.
Yes, and just chill. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes. And
But
don't let the unrest take over your whole being.
exactly.
Departmentalize what's going on. If you need a moment to be in this moment, be in it. Do not carry it throughout the day. It's not good for your health.
So
All
we got
around.
Robin in here, and we got
Hi, Robin.
Cecilia, and we got a lot of people saying hello to you here.
Hello, hello.
Morning.
Hi, Robin.
Yep, yep, yep. And Julia's here, and Gabby's here. So we have quite a few people in here. Tell us more, Coach.
Yes. And number three was, what would it take to have this become your reality? Now, this is the
Oh,
part, this is the real growing part, because we talk about it, we decide about it, we know, but what would it take for it to become your reality? And the steps are really simple. And it's so simple that people don't believe that it could happen. This is the part that is so simple. If you decided, and I'm going to stick to the number I said, if you decided that you wanted to make $1,000 an hour, your job is to see yourself making the $1,000 an hour, period. In whatever you have decided to do, do not look left or right, up or down, and worry about what nobody else is doing. If you decided that you're going to make $1,000 an hour, your job is to be very focused and stay within your mind space, meditating on making that $1,000 an hour. That's all you care about. And you set it up, you talk to God, and you know what's going to happen. Now, it's like going to bed at 8 o'clock in the night. If you used to go 12, you're not going to suddenly go at 8. You're going to have to start at 11:30, 11, 10:30, 10:15, 10 o'clock, and you'll work your way all the way down to 8 o'clock at night. That's just how the body works. Now, some people will go cold turkey, but then they'll find there's a problem. Take your time getting there. If that was the case, then your job, if you were making, I don't know, $20 an hour right now, then you want to double it. How about making $40 an hour? And then keep doubling it and keep finding ways to double it. Now, the Bible says, once you ask, you shall receive. So your job is to get in there and ask about ways for you to make this efficient. Not just sit around saying, well, if I do 20 heads and I do this. No. And I can tell you, because these crazy things have passed through my head. It never ever works. I'm going to be transparent and honest with you. You have to allow the time. Sometimes allowing the time with a thought process to get you to where you need to be it's more time consuming, but it's better because we're talking about planning here. So you allow that space and that time for it to come to you, because people, I am telling you without a shadow of a doubt, he just brings it to you. It is soft, it is rarely mellow, but it comes to you and it doesn't show up how you expect it to. And that's what throws people off. It doesn't show up that way, but it is what you do it because it's in the making of getting you there. So all these different things, and it shows up. I can't tell you how it's going to show up for you, but it shows up differently. But be very careful. Don't be distracted because you're on this journey. Somebody said to you, you can make $500 there. Don't go to it. Your question to yourself is, is this in alignment in what I set out to do? So if
mm,
somebody call you to make $500, but that's not what in your alignment to do, please do not step aside and do it, because that has nothing to do with you. That's the quick 500, but it wasn't in alignment with $1,000. And what starts happening, you start getting the distraction starts, and I call it distraction one, two, and three, because they come in threes. You get the first distraction, you accept it, another one follow, and another one follow. And somewhere in that bundle, you don't understand why you're not going towards what you set out to do. You're like, I prayed, I have faith, I was waiting. How come I'm not getting it? But that's because you stepped out of what you were supposed to do, whatever that is for yourself, whatever you're doing, it has to line up. I've got several businesses, so I have to put things under a certain heading, and I don't move from them. Even when it sounds fancy, even when it sounds great, even when I am sure I could make a lot of money from it, I do not waver because it's taking me away from what I'm supposed to do.
hmm
I'm not moving. I smile. I tell the person, it sounds fantastic. Let me get back to you. And it's usually, if you know me well, you know we're not doing it. And if you get back to me, I'll be honest. I'm like, this sounds like a great opportunity. It just wouldn't work for me at this time. Well, you can do, and I had a few of those last week. I had a few of those last month. I get it right throughout the year. Okay. And I said to the person, I said, although this seems like a good opportunity, it just doesn't line up with the things I'm doing at present. It wouldn't fall into my calendar. There's no way I can squeeze it in because I would feel overwhelmed and exhausted, and I don't run my life that way. So I just can't put it there. But maybe
Mhm.
next year, if they're persistent, maybe next year. And usually if somebody's persistent with me, I really sit and have the conversation either online this way, I'll call them up and say, listen, I really want to cheer you on, and that's all I can do at the moment. Your journey is not aligning itself with my journey.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I would be doing you and I a disservice to hop onto your journey. I won't be in there 100%, and I don't work that way. And I don't like disappointing kind because I've done it and I'm miserable because I see me 24/7. So for that reason, I don't like disappointing me regularly. I
I
don't,
hear you.
so I have to always be honest with people on that front. So making sure that whatever it is you set out to be becomes reality. Here's the other part before I revamp what we were talking about. Here's the other part. When it becomes a reality, we're always shocked in our being that this actually happened. We're like,
There you go.
and we don't notice right away. It's usually a couple of things happen, and then we're like, wait, I am making what I set out to make. Wait, hold on. I am doing what I set out to do. Like you're looking around and you're seeing these things falling into place because you stayed focused. I remember one time in my cleaning business, I'll tell you this story quickly. My cleaning business was at its lowest. I had one client. This morning I was doing my hair and God reminded me about one client. I lost all my clients, different things happened. One client. And I was sitting at my desk thinking about it. Should I leave the business? Should I quit the business? Should I get rid of the business? And a friend of mine said to me, Caren, you can sell the business. But by the time she got around to telling me I might want to sell it, it only had one client. And I did the most ridiculous thing ever. A friend of mine said to me, I know somebody's looking for a job. Karen, are you hiring? And I said to her, I am hiring.
What is he flashing?
Something is flashing.
I think so. How are you? We're good, Flash man.
Oh, yeah. And I said to her, I am hiring. And the girl came in and filled the application. We did everything. And I
Uh-huh.
did the unthinkable. I give a woman a job with only having one client, which was the only client that's supplying my financial needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, God, this is crazy, but you've been urging me to do it. And that was because I was praying to free up time for my marketing. And I was granted the permission to go do what I was supposed to do. And I give her the job thinking that I was the craziest because then where would I get my money? Let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you guys about faith. Because I allowed the lady to come and do the one job I had. And I was faithfully trusting and staying focused on what I was supposed to do. The first month we worked like nobody's business. The amount of jobs in that first month was crazy. I had to hire people beside her. And I kept hiring people. And it started out with me allowing me to let go of the thing I was holding. That's what I wanted to hear so tightly to me. I knew that job, that business, that one client was a commercial client, so it was good. Man, that one commercial client, because I just lost two other people that same week. That commercial client that I had,
Mm-hmm.
give it over to somebody who was in more dire need financially than I was. And then I accept what my position was in my business to be the best saleswoman, to be the best marketing queen, to tell stories about my business, and to provide services daily. I went into who I really was supposed to be. And I let go of being able to say, I clean the building the best. And I said, if I could clean the building really great, then I could train somebody to do that. And so I trained her. And so she became this person who stayed with me. And I told her straight up, I said, I got one spot for you. That's it. If you
Mm-hmm.
stay, though, I'll get you more work. And I faithfully delivered week after week more work for her and other people. I often think about it. If I had said, I only have this one job and I can't give it to somebody else because I would be without, then I would really have been without. We've owned it. We have a relationship. We've got this client for now 15 years. We have been cleaning for this business, and they have grown themselves. They've just moved to a new building, which is more work for us and more people to be able to clean. So I'm just saying, telling you all this so that you understand that I could have went out and get a job. I could have, and I had opportunity come my way where I can leave what I was supposed to focus on and do something else. But if I had, we wouldn't be, the company wouldn't be where it's at today. I tell you these stories because I want you to know that I
Well,
understand and I
we
get
thank you for those bot lessons.
it.
Yes.
All
Well,
right,
I
today
want you
we
to know
talk
that
about product.
Donna says hi
Hi, Donna.
from Green Earth Travel.
Yes.
Yeah, Donna, let us know how it's going. I
Mhm.
know the travel industry is been through something,
Yeah.
but they are on the comeback in a number of countries. So
Yes.
let us know how you're doing. We're concerned about you and your family. Um, so let's recap.
Okay. Quick recap here. Today we talked about planning towards a bigger income. That's what the topic was up. And I had a couple of questions that I would love you to go away and ponder if you feel I will be a fit or help you in any way. What is the biggest number you can imagine earning and why? Answer it and answer it surfacely and then go deep and really answer the question. And then number two was, how did you come up with that number? Know where you pull it from. It will help you with blockage. It will help you with opening you up. And number three was, what would it take to have this become your reality? Because we
Mhm.
don't really want to dream about it and think, oh, I wish it could be. We want to make it into a reality. Because remember, my job is about teaching you about money and changing the story you tell yourself within your mental capacity. And anything and everything that you want is possible and right in front of you. You just have to open and be willing to have it done. Allow Him to give you the grace to have it done the way it's supposed to be done, not necessarily the way you think it should be done. You want to stay, you want to start thinking money as a game. And you want to not be uncomfortable with money.
Okay.
And that's what I have for you today.
Thank you so much, Coach.
You're
How you
welcome.
doing, Tachi? Dr. Tachi's in here.
Hi, Taji.
Donna says starting next month, they're going to be layoffs. So we understand that, Donna. But also, next month is a big travel month because it is holiday time. So maybe you can start doing some articles on how to travel safely during the upcoming holidays. So Tachi says, "Hi, ladies. How you doing, Dr. Tachi?" And Delia says, "Thank you. Hope you have a lovely morning. You too. Have a great day. It's nice having you here." And we just want to, oh, and so Donna's saying road trips. Yes,
Yes.
most people have here in the States are actually renting RVs. And so maybe you could do some YouTubes on, how to rent an RV, because some people have never done it before. And just do that shift as you see people changing the way they travel. And when you're a help to them, then when the things do come back, they'll see you as a valued source. That's just some tips that we here at Biz Chicks just come off the top of our heads as we think about your different industries. So with that, I want to thank you again, Coach. I'm really going to think about my numbers. I don't think I really think about them in that way. I know that I need resources to help myself and to help others and to do the legacy things that I want to do. That has a lot to do with my why,
Mhm.
because I'm very comfortable. And so with that, I just want to thank you again for expanding how I relate to my numbers. How I relate to my numbers. So guys, be sure to share this out and let people know about Coach Caren. You can find her in Profits in Daily. And let me see if I can find that banner while we're talking.
That's right.
Here it is, because sometimes our accents get in the way of how people hear us. I'm from the East Coast, so I have a different accent from people in the South. So she's at Profits in Daily here on Facebook, and you're on YouTube, correct?
Not yet, but I got a channel, but nothing is up there yet.
Not familiar. Okay. Okay, so better connections are made on Facebook for Coach Caren, and you can find her everywhere there, or you can just search her name, Coach Caren Fern, FERN, like the tree, like the plant.
It is like a plant.
Like the plant. Coach Caren Fern, your money mindset coach, is in the house every Wednesday. If you have questions for Coach Caren, you can direct message her there over on Facebook. Also, she has a group, and you'd be able to join that group, and she has several tiers. And so you ought to be able to get in there at any level. In addition to that, I want to remind everybody that if you're looking to join Biz Chicks, just text biz to 33777. We'd love to have you become a part of our community. So reach out to us, and we will just welcome your what would you say, your membership to the group also. So with that, we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And Friday, we'll be talking tech and English for business. So with that, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.